In this standard, you will learn how to add, subtract, multiply and divide multi-digit decimals. Terms to know. Algorithm, a step-by-step solution to a problem. Difference, the answer to a subtraction problem. Minuend, the number that is to be subtracted from. Quotient, a number that is the result of division. Product, an answer to a multiplication problem. Subtrahend, the number that is to be subtracted. Sum, the number you get by adding two or more numbers together, or the answer to an addition problem. When adding decimals, the rule is, first step, line up the decimals. Second step, add the numbers. Third step, bring the decimal down. For example, 1,234 plus 105 and 56 hundredths. My first step is to line up the decimals. As you can tell, there is not a decimal behind the 4. But if I place 2 zeros behind the decimal behind the 4, that does not change the value of 1,234. I now line up my decimals, and I add the two numbers together. 6, 5. Bring the decimal straight down. 9, 3, 3, 1. So the sum of these two numbers is 1,339 and 56 hundredths. Subtracting decimals. Same rules apply. First step, line up the decimals. Second step, subtract the numbers. Third step, bring the decimal down. First step, line up the decimals. Six minus 2 is 4. I cannot take 7 from 5, so I borrow from the 2. And that becomes 15 minus 7, which is 8. Decimal comes straight down. I cannot take 3 from 1, so I borrow. 11 minus 3 is 8. 2 minus 2 is 0. Bring the 1 down. The difference is 108 and 84 hundredths. When multiplying decimals, first step, line up numbers to the right. You do not have to line the decimals up. I repeat, do not line the decimals up. Step 2, multiply like normal. Imagine the decimals are not even there. Third step, count the number of digits after the decimal point and then place your decimal in the product. Okay, 12 and 34 hundredths times 2 and 3 tenths. As you can tell, I did not line my decimals up because that does not matter. I am now going to multiply like it's 1,234 times 23. 3 times 4 is 12, carry the 1. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10, bring down the 0. Carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And 3 times 1 is 3. I am now going to place a place marker here. Always put an X there to help me remember that that's the place marker. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. And 2 times 1 is 2. Now add. Now, I get to the product, and I now look at my problem. There are 1, 2, 3 numbers behind the decimal. So I go down the product, starting at the right, I count 1, 2, 3. So my answer is 28 and 382 thousandths. Dividing decimals. If the divisor has a decimal, move the decimal point over. You got to get rid of it. Also move the decimal in the dividend. Divide as usual, then move the decimal point directly above in the dividend to your quotient. So, 10 decimal 848 thousandths divided by 1 and 2 tenths. First step, get rid of the decimal here. Once you move the decimal there, you also move it here. Now, rewrite the problem. Do not do it like that. Rewrite it so it won't look as confusing to you. Now let's divide. 12 will not go into 1. It will not go into 10, but it will go into 108 9 times. 9 times 12 is 108 with 0 left over. That decimal does not come down. I repeat, that decimal does not come down. You move it straight up into the quotient. Bring the 4 down. 12 will not go into 4. So you place a 0 in the quotient. 0 times 12 is 0 with 4 left over. Bring down the 8. 12 will go into 48 4 times. 4 times 12 is 48 with 0 left over. So your quotient is 9 4/100ths.